main statue's acquaintance.
First and visitors, welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy. We're in Professor Bin's class, so we're just gonna go and check this out real quick. I was doing a rambling thing last time, but...
At least we're out of the classroom.
Oh, Poppy. Natty?
Wagadu's history is, well, a bit different than that of Hogwarts.
Revelio.
Aha! Waving Knight. This set of armor belonged to Sir Puddle of the Cheerful Countenance, a legendarily friendly knight who supposedly won every battle before it was fought. By virtue of his amiable negotiating tactics, some attribute is access to an overly potent cheering charm he casts on himself. Even his fucking helmet has a mustache, bro. And there's a cock on his head. Bro, there's a cock on his head and a mustache on his armor's face. You know, wonder this motherfucker, like, won every battle before it started. He'd be laughing your ass off you see some of this shit in the fucking medieval stuff. Oh, holy shit. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna continue the class. Try to talk to this guy over here.
If you fail history of magic, you're doomed to repeat it. The class, that is.
Leave it to Bins to make the most interesting school in the world seem dull.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
As one would expect, Hogwarts contains no narthexes. Obviously, those would not be found. Castles. Students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts.
Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Puddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Puddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk.
What a fucking retard.
Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing.
Well, that's actually pretty impressive.
That did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Not surprised.
Goblins and wizard kind will never trust each other.
Yes, well, it takes a cauldron to raise a chisperful, as they say. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise student, such as yourself, will learn from it.
Oh shit, that's all I needed. Cool.
History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say. Or at least, I like to say that.
History's written by motherfuckers like me who take down fucking goblin dragons because fuck them. This is the Great Hall shit. You know what the fuck we're gonna do? We're gonna go out in the school grounds and we're going to do the fucking Summoner's Court. I think I got one left. Oh, it's Professor? No fucking way. Let's go, bitch.
You're my Summoner's Court opponent, Professor Ronan.
Indeed I am. Professors are allowed to have fun once in a while too, you know.
Yeah. I guess so.
Of course. I look forward to playing against you.
And I you. I've been playing this for eons, so you haven't a chance of winning. How about we get started anyway?
Yeah, sure, man.
I'm ready.
No time like the present.
Okay, so he wants to play there. I'll do the same tactic I did before. With this one. Okay. Okay, motherfucker, dude.
There
Like,
you have it.
the dude was in the
Another
fucking way.
Opportunity to learn and improve. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, well, let me see if I could push this bitch out the way here. I'm gonna pull it right through here.
Accio.
Damn.
And there you have it. Yet another opportunity to learn and improve. Accio!
Okay, come on now. I could probably win this just... Oh, hell yeah, bitch.
I do not recall teaching you how to play like that.
You ever recall losing to a
Delightful
fucking student,
see
bitch?
Such mastery from one your age.
That was too fucking easy, bro.
Well done. You've beaten me at my own game.
I'm a natural.
I suppose there's not much left you can teach me now.
One always has something to learn. You see, I just taught you something.
Bitch.
As the new Summoner's Court champion, you have earned a token of recognition. Do
Excellent.
not let it go to your head.
Okay. Summoner's Court champion fucking gloves. Hell yeah. Who's a master? Yeah, boy. Summoner's Court is actually a pretty fun game. You know what? I kind of like them, the red and the purple, and it's pretty subtle. I like it. Okay. Fucking A. I don't know how long this episode will be, but I wanted to do this final episode. I don't think really there's much left that we can do. Nothing much left to challenge us, given the fact that we've max upgraded all our super legendary gear with a bunch of toughness, offense, and traits that render us basically godlike, especially with the Maxima potion. So I'm just gonna take care of this.
This year, we have seen our students exemplify the bravery of Godric Gryffindor. Allow me to finish. The loyalty of Helga Hufflepuff. The wisdom of Rowena Ravenclaw. And the ambition of Salazar Slytherin. And so, the winner of this year's House Cup.
Excuse me, Headmaster, if I may. One particular student's heroism during the attack on Hogwarts, not to mention the level to which they have excelled in their coursework, as a new student, no less. Well, it would seem that it certainly merits, I'd say, 100 points to their house. Wouldn't you agree?
Ah, yes. Thank you, Professor Weasley. I suppose we have our winner.
Oh damn, dude. Definitely some feel-good shit in there. Yeah. Maybe I should have changed it to my, like, exceptional robes, like something real super classy, real stunning. But in my house colors. Maybe I should have done that shit. Ah, fuck it. Whatever. Alright, evaluation time, man. Listen, this game was fucking incredible. Alright, it's a game that I've enjoyed. Oh, fuck, immensely, bro. Like, I don't think I've enjoyed a game this much in recent memory. You know, I just did a finished playthrough of Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, and it was alright. You know, a little bit of a throwback and nostalgia. But this was something different, man. Because I am a big fan of Harry Potter and all that good stuff. And the IP and the books and the offshoots and, you know, games and movies and all that good stuff. But bro, this game really brought it to life for me, you know? I think one of the coolest things about this was not necessarily getting to run around the countryside and, you know, fuck up trolls and goblins and shit, but that you could actually really see how much shit goes on and in the castle in Hogwarts and how lived in that it felt, and you could just go anywhere you wanted to, and it was just a really great time. I loved how they built Hogwarts in this game and how they made it look on the inside. I think one of my favorite moments was definitely, actually, surprisingly, when I bought the shop. Because me, as an actual business owner in real life, was like all about that shit. I've always wanted to be able to have like a shop in a little place that would be kind of like a little town or something like that. I thought that would be really cool to have a shop like that. So being able to sort of live out my fantasy here of having a shop in a little town in Hogsmeade was great. You know, my business is building fences, right? So I don't really have a shop. It's just, you know, go on site and you know, get materials, build whatever. But to be able to live out my fantasy of actually having a place to be and actually sell shit out of there, I loved it. I love the fact that also I love how they built Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade was a little confusing at first, but with all the shops and shit that you can go to, get your hair cut, get new digs, new threads, go to your own shop, sell stuff, you know, upgrade your room of requirement stuff too. Like, it was incredible, man. It was super incredible. I don't know, man, like the way they built up Hogsmeade was fantastic. I love walking through there, and my favorite season, obviously, fucking winter. I'm a big sunshine guy, right? That's why I live where I live. It's a lot of sunshine and warmth, and I hate cold weather, but in games, my favorite biomes of any games in video games is of all the seasons is winter biomes. Super Mario, love the winter levels. What else? Shit, man, I can't even think of any other games right now. But yeah, when I went in Kingdoms of Amalur and I went finally to the far north and there was actual snow, because there's not usually snow in that game, I thought that was great. I love seeing the snow in the winter and all that shit. It's really fucking cool. You know, just a bunch of other games I played in the past. You know, Diablo 3 winter level there, because they got the desert level and then the village level and all that good shit. But I just, yeah, like right here, this is beautiful. A shot of the castle. Fucking gorgeous. But I absolutely love the winter season. The snow everywhere, the evergreen trees gilded with white. It was really great. They did a great job on it. I think my favorite quest line as far as like close companions goes, actually it was Poppy, Sweeting. I like that because she was the only one with which I could go and see like dragons and shit. And I've been a big dragon fan since I was a kid. I think fire-breathing gigantic lizards. The Eldest series, or the Inheritance series, I mean, the Aragon, loved it. The movie, you know, it would have been a great standalone movie if it wasn't attached to the IP. The movie itself, fucking terrible. Anyway, dragons and shit was fantastic. And the fact that I always thought it was kind of funny that the little golden snidgets, I learned this a long time ago actually, that the little golden snidgets have been like hunted to extinction because they were used as snitches in Quidditch before they actually used enchanted golden balls. And that's why they were one of the reasons why they were extinct. And I love the fact that they threw that in here, that the golden snidgets actually still existed, and we could actually go and talk to the centaurs and see if they'd help us protect them, and we actually found an extinct species. So yeah, and we got to fight a dragon and have a dragon egg and return the dragon egg, and I want to see what would happen if maybe we kept the dragon egg. I'm not sure, maybe we could, you know, use it, I don't know, but it was fucking awesome, bro. So the story, pretty good. You're, you know, obviously main character got a special power, you know, you go ancient, whatever the fuck, an ancient magic or an ancient quest, and you have to go through all these trials. It's pretty standard stuff, actually, hero's journey type shit. So it's just nothing out of the ordinary, not super groundbreaking, but not terrible. I really liked the story. It wasn't as forgettable as like the KOA story, but yeah, man. And the side quests were really good. Like, the little side quests were kind of fun, and I absolutely loved being able to walk around in Hogwarts and running into random little encounters where people are talking to each other. Like the one dude that the girls were trying to hold him by his ankles because he got stung by a billywig or something, and he was floating there, and then they're like, oh shit, I forgot, I got homework to do. And I was like, oh shit, me too. And then they just left him hanging there. It's like, we'll check on you tomorrow. And he's like, fucking what? I love that. Like with the other ones, when they tried to turn something into a snitch and it became a bludger and started attacking them, like that was fucking hilarious, dude. It was awesome, man. So yeah, I really like that. There's a bunch of different secrets to find here, but like I said, the only secrets we're gonna find left, I think that's one of the complaints that I had with it, is that once you've reached the end game, like in other games, like say like there's Fallout or Diablo or like Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls, there's always something legendary or something more to find. There's always some other craziness. Like in Skyrim, you can fight the Ebony Warrior or whatever when you reach like level 80. So there's always something to look for in the end game. RPGs like Chrono Trigger, you know, you can always go in there and fuck around with the Moonstone, fight secret bosses, all that good shit, get the better weapons and all that goodness. This one didn't really seem to have any sort of end game, like, you know, or new game. Well, I don't know if it has a new game plus. Maybe it does. I'll have to check that out. But it didn't really have any end game or after games, after storyline, after main quest bullshit. Like if we were to go around right now in the after game and run around and collect shit and go to different locations, everything is so steadily built. You get what I'm saying? Nothing really escalates. So you got your wand handles, but they don't do anything to power your wand, right? They don't do anything to increase its attributes or its stats or, you know, anything like that. It just changes the appearance, and your wand is your wand, and it's just standard. You can get attributes to your clothes and to your spells and little traits and shit that help upgrade your spell damage, but you can never get like a more powerful wand. You can never get a faster broom after you get all 3 upgrades. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's just the upgrades for your gear was good. They did the same thing with like Dragon's Dogma when you had to get, and I love the fact, like I said before, that you didn't have to go hunting like in Dragon's Dogma to a bunch of enemies, solely enemies, and trying to get shit from them and relying on random and unpredictable drop rates, right? I love the fact that you could just take beasts in and use them for the materials and breed them and shit, and you could have them all right there in the room requirement with you and use all their stuff as a captive, like, material factory, basically, to upgrade anything that you brought in later, too. It was just so easy to do it. All you had to do was actually gather everything at one time first, sort it out, and then boom, you were done. You were good to go as long as you set it up right. That was awesome. In Dragon's Dogma, you know, you had to run around and actually kill enemies, and it was a drop rate thing, too. You may or you may not get what you're looking for, especially if it was a rare material. I also love the fact that when you're going around, there was plenty of bushes, lacewing flies, ashwinder eggs, some mallow sweet, sometimes some dittany, some horclump juice, all that good stuff was out in the wild in plenteous amounts to where it was easy for you to actually get it. Also, I love the fact that it was constant drop rate, and each enemy only drops one thing that you need for like upgrades. It's kind of bittersweet though, because like you think maybe one enemy that is different, like the Grim that we fought in a little while ago, the legendary Dark Mongrel, the Grim in the white wolf or whatever, if they dropped like a white pelt and a grim pelt, that would be cool. And then maybe you could make like clothes out of them, like a crafting thing you could actually make instead of just upgrade. But, you know, using legendary materials, that would have been cool. But it's sort of bittersweet, the fact that they have every enemy that you do, like trolls will always give you troll boogies, and they will always drop them whenever you defeat them, every single time. Dark Mongols, they will always drop their fur. Spiders, they will always drop a spider fang. Inferi will always drop a stench of the dead. Like, it will always drop something for you, so you don't have to fucking hunt down this shit in a tedious way. I love that. But also, the fact that they only drop one thing and it was guaranteed made it a little too easy. But still, that actually removes some of the tedium, so I'm not complaining about the ease of it. It would have been cool if some of them dropped like little rarer materials, but you know, that's as it may be. The combat was great. It took some freaking getting used to try and figure out how to time your blocks and dodges and shit, especially on a hard difficulty when a counter stupefy does not break shields like it does in lower difficulties. So that's incredibly difficult, and especially with the dueling club, the cross wands and all that bullshit, and people with their red, yellow, and purple shields, but then they also have that weird kind of gold shield that could only be broken by an object or if you drank a Maxima potion, which is kind of bullshit. But the only real, like, the combat took some getting used to. It was a pretty good system for, like, wand magic and shit like that, so they took the lore that they had and used the lore to sort of build a unique combat system, which I respected. I also love the fact that you could still use Avada Kedavra as a one-shot kill, and the way that they sort of nerfed that and offset it to where it made it kind of, like, fair, where you couldn't just spam it, is that they had a seriously long cooldown for it. I thought it was pretty good, you know, because you can use it once, but in the meantime, basically, if you use it during one fight, if that fight's not a very long fight, you're not going to be able to use it again during the same fight, right? So it balanced itself out. It was very equalized, which I like. So, but I love the fact that they put that in there. The Imperial Curse was freaking, Imperious Curse, Imperial. It was hilarious that you could actually use that and, you know, make people fight for you. That was awesome. The blocking could use a little bit of work because it's kind of like I'm trying to dodge, and the button that you press for your spells, like you got the spell wheels, and one of your spells is mapped to the triangle button. Now you could do it without, but then you're nerfing yourself by one whole spell for a full wheel, right? So given the fact that sometimes I was trying to hit Confringo, and maybe I could have abated this by putting one of my control or like status or whatever spells, one of the yellow, the gold or purple spells at the top instead of one of the red ones, yeah, I probably could have like abated this by doing that, but I didn't think of that at the time. But I was just mapped out to where I was using one of my attack spells that was a constant attack thing, and I mapped it to the triangle spell slot. So whenever I had to hit somebody with like the Confringo that was mapped to triangle, and I would hit it, and then they would throw something at me or shoot me at the same time, I was in the middle of a spell animation, and I couldn't hit the triangle again for a shield. So that was a little bit of a flaw. I didn't like the fact that you only could get a spell for a couple of seconds as a counter. That was kind of when everybody else could have shields that they just put up there. Like, it would be cool if you could have your whole spell system for your shield Protego, where you can get upgraded Protego, and Protego might last longer, or you can make a different kind of Protego, or you can finally get the massive shield that, but only have it last for like a few seconds. You know, like when you drink a potion, it lasts for a little while. Maybe do a thing where you have the Protego the same way. You can walk into battle, you can put it up like a barrier in Final Fantasy, and it lasts for, you know, 30 seconds. 25 seconds, 15 seconds, what the fuck ever. You know, just something to give you a little bit of an edge there and not have to worry about it. You got the Adurus potion, but that's not a quick thing, right? You have to open the menu mid-fight, or you open the menu beforehand and then you hit Adurus potion, but that'll wear off. So if you're mid-fight and you hit Adurus before the fight, and then it wears off during the fight, you go into the menu and you went to get the Maxima potion, right? So you Adurus, and then you went to get a Maxima potion, let's say, and you drank that. Well, in order to re-up the Adurus potion to give you defense like you would have a shield, you would have to go back into the menu or drink another potion, instead of just hitting triangle and having it like a cooldown skill. I think that would have been a little bit better. Like, definitely keep the Protego on the triangle or whatever. Actually, I would better Protego on like a trigger button, or something like that. Like in Kingdoms of Amalur, they had your shield on a trigger button, which made it so much easier to block shit. But yeah, so if you could fix the Protego situation where you can keep the counter, but also maybe make it to where it could be a skill as well that has like a bit of a cooldown, depending, like, you know, whatever. Combat was definitely unique. I liked it. I hated the fights. Like, the fights could use so much fucking work. Cassandra, like, it was bullshit that you wouldn't, if you abandoned the quest for Fastidio, which is my like favorite quest here with the shop and all. It was bullshit that if you went in between leaving your shop and Fastidio and defeating that boss and then going to get Officer Singer, it was bullshit that you couldn't have an autosave pause in between there, so that if, like in my situation when I was getting bodied by Cassandra and I needed more potions and I wanted to abandon the quest, it was bullshit that I couldn't abandon the quest and then just start over where I went to get Officer Singer. Instead, I would have had to start over way the fuck at the beginning of actually buying the fucking shop and going into the chest. So that, like, that was bullshit, okay? Like, obviously there's a space in between you getting Officer Singer and leaving Fastidio's place where you can go and basically do whatever the fuck you like, right? You don't have to go directly to Singer, but you want to finish the quest, that's what you do. They should have had something like autosave pause in there, so if you had to abandon it for some reason, you know, you could go back there and be like, okay, we're cool, then we can come back, get Officer Singer, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway. But that fight was good. The bullshit I hate about the fights is that you had a lot of multi-boss fights. I hate that, especially when you're lower level and you're trying to take down a giant troll, but you got a bunch of little enemies that are just about as tough as the troll because your spells just fucking suck. So the troll is basically invincible to the damage of your spells ratio, and the spiders and shit, they're just so damage absorbing, they're so tanky that you're trying to hit them, and you got to hit them with like a 3 combo, which I'm talking about a 3 combo. I'm talking about 2 damage spells, and then 4 basic spells, and then 2 damage spells, and then 4 basic spells, and then 2 damage spells, and then 4 basic spells. And after that triple combo, that entire string of attacks on one enemy, one jobber enemy, even after that, they might not have gone down. So it was the hardest difficulty, sure, but I hated the fact that they constantly regenerated jobbers and foot soldiers during some of the boss fights, like Rookwood. That shit was bullcrap. Fucking the Ranrock fight at the end was just so fucking tedious because he was throwing shit. There was clearly a point in time when there was an indicator above my head that said dodge, and I dodged. But then he threw another attack and the indicator didn't go off, so I had no idea where it was coming from, and it just bodied the fuck out of me. There was no indication. It just came out of nowhere and ended me. So, like, that, when you're trying to solve a puzzle by basically saying, oh shit, what color is that bubble that's up in the sky that I have to actually get closer to and then figure out, and if I had already just used, like, if I had just used a red damage spell on Ranrock to try and damage him a little bit, but then he just went into his next phase after that, and I have both of them on cooldown, and now I'm trying to figure out, oh shit, there's another red spell bubble over here that I have to break, but I can't because I'm on fucking cooldown, and I miss it when I get close, and then it just resets and it changes a different color. It was just exhausting to have to fucking figure out that puzzle while he's throwing 2/3 of his attacks at you that are unblockable, and the ones that are blockable are almost completely unreadable because of the way that the arena was designed and the colors all sort of blend together, right? So everything was like blackish, reddish, gray. And everything was like that, so his attacks looked like that, so you couldn't tell where his breath attack was coming from, where it was going to hit. You're just trying to blindly dodge while trying to find out what color this bubble is so I can hit it, while trying to figure out if I can throw a rock back at him, while trying to figure out why the fuck I just lost half my health to a rock with no indication, and I'm low on potions, you know. So that fight was bullshit. The Rookwood fight was bullshit, and the reason they were bullshit, and that one spider fucking fight in the room where I had to reset and do the spiders again with the troll, when I was with Poppy, like, that was bullshit too. And the reason these 3 particular boss fights were bullshit was because they kept on throwing eternal, endless jobbers at you all the fucking time. Like, I would have liked, like, the Rookwood fight if it went in waves, and I got rid of one wave and there were like 10 dudes, and I was able to fight them off, and then, you know, we hit them, and then a second wave and like maybe 10 dudes, and then the third wave. The 3 waves was bullshit to begin with. That's just way too fucking long of a boss fight. And you're trying to tell me that Rookwood himself comes down with an invincible shield along with all his fucking cronies that keep on constantly regenerating, and then he's fucking you up from the back end while you have 5 other people with different colored shields and him with a shield that you can only break with an object, and up to that point you've probably used every fucking object in the arena already in the fight for your life to kill everybody else. Like, that was a complete bullshit, okay? I hate having to solve puzzles and fight jobber enemies all the time during boss fights. It's just exhausting, it's annoying, it's incredibly fucking just tedious, and I hate it. So the one-on-one fights were great, the beast capture was great, the travel, I cannot gush enough over the travel. The fact that you can just hop a broom whenever the fuck you want and fuck off into the sky. I think it's bullshit that there were some like no-fly zones. Like, I wish you could fly over the top of Hogsmeade. That would have been fucking cool, because if you think about it lore-wise, Dumbledore and Harry went in the Half-Blood Prince. He couldn't disapparate from Hogwarts, so he and Harry actually had to walk to the front gate into Hogsmeade, and from Hogsmeade they could fly directly out of Hogsmeade by the Hogshead bar. They used brooms and they were able to fly the fuck out of Hogsmeade. But when they were coming back, you could not. Hogwarts was so protected due to, according to the lore, that you couldn't get in there with brooms or whatever. You know, dudes trying to fly, trying to infiltrate Hogwarts the entire series, and they couldn't do it because it was so well protected over the top and all these charms and shit. And in order to even get in there, the current headmaster of Hogwarts, Dumbledore, had to mumble some ancient language to disable a portion of the barrier so him and Harry could fly through from Hogsmeade. So the fact of the matter is that there's a no-fly zone and a shield protecting Hogsmeade in this game versus there's no shield or nothing protecting Hogwarts and you can just fly right the fuck over it was kind of bullshit, right? I would have loved to be able to fly over Hogsmeade. That would have been fucking awesome. And like ride the broom through the streets. That would have been fucking cool too. But, so that's a complaint I have. Some of the boss fights when you have to do the endless enemies were fucking bullshit. I hated that. The travel was good. The fast travel, loading times, and it's a PS4 Pro, whatever. That's going to be as it is, if not the PS5, you know, whatever. But shit, man. Wish lists. Things I would love to see. Biggest thing I would love to see is aerial combat, I think. That's probably... And a bit more in-depth into the equipment and crafting situations to where... And the lore and the... discoverability, because the world is big. It's a good, large world, open world, but I'm talking about discoverability that's less repetitive. You get what I'm saying? Because right now, like I was telling you guys before, is if I were to go to do all the endgame shit, go to the little treasure troves and the spider nests, the troll nests, all that good stuff, and I already got the most OP trait for all my gear, which is the concentration 3, increase the damage of all your spells, so you really don't need to find any more traits. So once you find that one, there's not much of a point to actually going and killing any more bandit camps, because you've already got that one that increases all your spell damage. You know, with fully upgraded legendary gear and a trait 3 like that, you're basically invincible. Like, you can still take damage and shit, but like, you're basically, you're really offensive at that point. Super OP. So, knowing that, you know that any other thing that you go to find in the end game after this is going to be like maybe a cosmetic wand handle or some fucking gear. And of course you'd like to go and see more gear appearances and all that good shit. But like I said before with the brooms, if there's no way that getting a new broom increases the power, speed, or agility of the broom itself, it just changes the appearance, well, there's not really a point to it, right? At this point, if I was to go in the end game, go all the way over Hogsmeade Valley, Hogwarts, all that good stuff, and find every last little thing in every little cave, nook, cranny, and all that stuff, it would only be gear and cosmetics. That would really be it, you know. And I like things that are functional, that actually do something, that can like help me out, like maybe something that gives me an increase to the fertilizers I'd be able to have in the room of requirement, something like that. Like I get like the Merlin trials, they give you more gear capacity, but if I could have something that increases my capacity for like potting tables, or increases my capacity for composter stands, or potions tables, right? You can get the potions tables with like 3 pots on it, and that was big. But if you could have more than just 7 of those and you can increase the capacity for it, that would have been cool. Or if they lowered the capacity before, like at the beginning of the game, and you had to have like, you go through different challenges and do different things and find different things. Like if they did this, here's what if they did this would be cool. Like you have a limit of like 1 potting or potions table or composter that you can put in the room of requirement. And through challenges and shit, the rewards are you can upgrade your capacity in the room of requirement. You know what I'm saying? That would have been cool, but they didn't do that, and it made it a little too easy. But that would have been cool to do, like functional rewards instead of just cosmetics. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But other than that, like I said, the biggest thing I want on the wish list is probably absolutely fucking aerial combat. Like, you're on your broom, the only thing you can do is Revelio, which was great. I love the fact that you can do Revelio and it reveals all the icons of different things that are different locations in the world. That was great when you're on your broom. It's fucking awesome to do that. But I would have loved to get actual aerial combat, because you think in the Deathly Hallows, when they took Harry off from Privet Drive on the brooms and shit, and then they got ambushed in the skies over London by Death Eaters, and they were fighting for their fucking lives. Aerial combat would be sick as fuck, bro. And I would love to see aerial combat on brooms. Thestrals, I would love to see you be able to ride Thestrals, as well as the Hippogriff. And I would love to see different stats on them, because the Hippogriff might have like more endurance and be able to fly longer, but the Thestral is described in the book as being incredibly fast. So maybe make the Thestral faster, earn the right to be able to ride a Thestral and a Hippogriff and all that good stuff, but make them have different, you know, stats. Hippogriff, a little bit slower, more agility, maybe a little more power on the takeoff. Maybe it can use, maybe you have an attack stat where you can ride it like a horse, but it can attack. You know, but then have a Thestral be a little bit less, like make the Hippogriff tanky, but make the Thestral less tanky, but then make it like fucking faster and more agile, right? That'd have been fucking cool. So have a super fast Thestral just flying around, fucking people up, and you fucking people up off of there. Broom combat. So I'd like to see combat in the air on brooms, Thestrals, Hippogriffs, all that stuff, where you can use all your spells. You know, fucking do a strafing run with like Bombarda and just pop off a bunch of shit. But have people have like barriers and go undercover and shit. You know, that would have been fucking sick as fuck, bro. Overall, fellas, overall, the game was fucking fantastic. I fucking love it. I'm on a solid 8.5 out of 10. Okay? Solid 8.5 out of 10. Super solid. The collection's a little bit repetitive. The combat is always diverse. I like being able to, like, the combat was, especially when you get more powerful, that you can really do a bunch of things, like the Dug Bogs. You can lift them and then slice them. You can turn somebody into a fucking explosive barrel and then throw him into his friend. Fucking hilarious, okay? I love the diversity of the combat and the agility of the combat. Or the flexibility of it. But overall, yeah, 8.5 out of 10 I would give this game. It's fucking phenomenal. Loved every second of it. Castle itself, Hogwarts, 11 out of 10. Love the way they did that. Couldn't be happier. Fucking love it. All the little puzzles they put inside Hogwarts 2 for you to do is fucking fantastic. I hope they make a fucking sequel. I don't know if they've released DLC for this game. I might check it out if they have, but if not, I heard that there are rumors that they're making a Hogwarts Legacy 2. I don't know where this one will take place. It'll follow the story of the guy that can see ancient magic. If they do a Mass Effect thing where your character can come from the previous game and be actually that was a Dragon Age thing where you could get the hero of whatever the fuck it was, Feld something, and you could get the hero of Ferelden from Dragon Age 2, and he actually made a guest appearance in Dragon Age Inquisition, which is fucking sick, because that was your main character that you played, and then he made a guest appearance as an NPC. It'd be cool if you could download the data, like if they went and made the second game, and they did a Mass Effect thing where you could take your data from the last game and sort of implement it and import your character. That'd be fucking awesome if you could have your character that you played completely fucking customized, that you liked, to make a guest appearance dressed as the last save game that you had it dressed as. So mine guy would have the blue cobalt shit with the red coat and the red top hat. If he could come in there like that to the second game as like an older wizard that maybe gives you a little bit of guidance or some shit if you were going to be like a student again or some shit, that would be fucking awesome. I would love to see that. But yeah, wish list, a little bit more diversity in the exploration and a little bit more function reward versus cosmetic reward. Combat was great. Want to see aerial combat. Like I said before, solid 8.5 out of 10. Hogwarts Castle itself, solid 11 out of 10. Fucking love the castle. Hogsmeade Village, beautiful. Overall, really, really, really fucking great game, bro. So fucking good. I would play this again. get a different house, you know, see what sort of things change if you were a different. I think there are like minimal things that change, like maybe the rewards in the house chest with the house tokens, some of the side quests you can do. Like you can be a Gryffindor and one of the side quests is still you're friends with Sebastian, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'll do that, because I hear there's like certain tiny little things, nothing really worth maybe playing the game completely over again, like on hard mode difficulty. The reason I do that initially with any game that I play is because I want to be able to conquer it on the very hardest difficulty that I can possibly conquer it, because then there's nothing left. And I know for a fact that if you go on the hardest difficulty, generally speaking, for games with difficulty levels, the best rewards are going to be on the harder difficulties. So why in the fuck would I just play a pussified version of the story that maybe gives me an easier time with combat and gameplay, but doesn't give me as good of rewards as I would get on harder difficulty? So then I have to go back to the harder difficulty to get the better rewards. Like in Dragon's Dogma, for instance, they didn't have a harder difficulty option until like Dark Arisen, I think, or an expansion of some kind. And when they did get the harder one, I went immediately to it, and it was way harder. But I was already so OP from leveling up so much in the other base game that it wasn't too terrible. But it was still a challenge. But also, enemies were steady dropping sacks of gold with 10,000 pieces of gold. Like, you hear me right now? Like, big old sacks of gold that enemies were just randomly dropping with 10,000 gold in it. The biggest one I got was like a 2,000 gold pouch for like a really difficult enemy on like a lower difficulty level for Dragon's Dogma. But when it went to a higher difficulty level, I'm talking this shit's dropping like way more rare drops from enemies, way more money drops. So generally what I'm just saying is harder difficulties tend to make better rewards. That being the case, like, that's why I always love to do the harder difficulties. Plus, if I'm doing it on the hardest difficulty and I'm beating it in the hardest difficulty and I'm getting good at the game in the hardest difficulty, there ain't no way I would have even half as hard a time if I decided I wanted to play it again and go down to a lower difficulty. You know what I'm saying? Like, play it on the hardest difficulty was freaking phenomenal. Now, games like Skyrim and shit, you know, where the difficulty just makes enemies more tanky, it's kind of fucking whatever, right? But if you actually have a difficulty level that scales with the rewards you can get and also makes you better at the game, freaking red messages. Come on now. What the fuck, man? So fucking slow. Okay, no unread messages. Now, is this it? Slytherin common room? Sure. So if I walk out here, nothing. If I walk over here, can I talk to this dude? No, he's just minding his own business. Coolio. Okay, I can run that. Y'all be talking over here. No bullshit. Okay. Let's see what's up here. Just one of those, one of those. Okay, cool. Salazar Slytherin, my boy, with the skull and all that bullshit. Well, fellas, like I said, it's been fucking phenomenal. It's been a fantastic ride, this game. I don't think that's the way out. I had a fucking phenomenal time playing this game. Like, abso-fucking-lutely wonderful. Could have been happier with the outcome of this game. You know. It's been amazing. And if I could ever remember my fucking way out, there it is. I always forget my way out the fucking common room. We're gonna go upstairs real quick, because I know there's a lot of different challenges and shit all over Hogwarts, and you can fucking puzzles and shit. And there's that one door up near the headmaster's office.
How nice to see you.
I was about to say, I didn't see any tokens. I was like, holy mother of fuck. Oh, I got another one? Shit, I didn't realize, dude. Must have grabbed one on the way somewhere else before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only need 5 more, fellas. Fan-fucking-tastic. Well, alright. I didn't get any more messages from anybody. Oh shit, nothing really going on here except that I did not notice. 500 gold, hell yeah. So, yeah, I guess this is it, fellas. Phenomenal game. Fucking loved it. Looking forward to the second one. Hopefully they put in some aerial combat and some more functionally rewarding exploration and shit. Instead of just mostly cosmetic shit, but hey. I think I might play this a little more, and I'll do some, I love the fact that they have peeves running all over the place, too, that's fact. And that they can do this shit, too. Oh, I'm sorry, man, I just gush over this shit. Like I said, in another long-winded sort of rant, was if they do the Hogwarts and Harry Potter and shit right for the TV show they're coming out with, there just always needs to be something going on, something flying around, something exploding, something flashing bright, some student running and screaming, some student flying through the hall, some student falling off a balcony. So there just always needs to be some sort of chaos happening everywhere in the castle, like all the time. And even some crazy, sneaky, hanky-panky at night. There always needs to be some little event, or multiple little events at night. It's just gotta feel alive, bro. It's gotta feel alive, you know? So, it's been fucking phenomenal, fellas. It's been really fucking good, man. Like, if this castle were fucking real, like if they actually made the whole castle, and you could take a fucking tour of it, and they modeled it directly after this place, how much would that even fucking cost, bro? The architecture, the fucking beauty of it, the power it would take to keep all these lights and shit going. Oh my god, dude. It'd be fucking amazing. Well, I love it, man. Had a great time. It was freaking incredible. So, I might go and do a bunch of other little things, like get all the rest of the tokens for the house chests and shit, and then I'll make a little montage video, but like, hey, here's all the house chest tokens, here's all the wall puzzles, here's all the chests, here's all the field guide pages, like all the little shit. Maybe I'll do that. And maybe we'll just find another game we can start a series on. So, fuck, whatever. Until next time, fellas, I'm the fuck out of here. It's been good. Peace out. Take it easy.